up at discover.stillman.edu. Complete the contact card and apply today. Stillman College, where we prepare students for a different world.
This is Carlos Brown, letting you know that we're on the move. You can now catch the Carlos Brown Show beginning this July on the Black College Sports Network each and every Saturday from 11 to 1 Eastern Time. That's 10 to 12 Central Time. Same time, new place. On Facebook at the Carlos Brown Show and Black College Sports Network. Online at www.mybcsn.net and on the BCSN app available on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
This is Brian Fulford. A.D. Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's 5 March 2023. Oh, let me cut my TV off so I don't get distracted by the sports programs and stuff. I'm going to give y'all my undivided attention, at least for a little while. All right, it's 5/23. No, it ain't. It's the 5th of May. No, it's the 5th of March. Figure that, I'm sober. 5th of March 2023. Welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. I'm your host, DVP. I got my girl Melly Mel in the control room running things. She makes sure I'm staying focused, and we're gonna try something different. We're gonna try some breaks today. So hopefully Melly Mel can keep me focused. If not, you know what they say, when in doubt, blame somebody else. So we're gonna blame her if it don't go right. So this week has been pretty interesting. And you know, it's always interesting to me because right now I'm going to be the only one on the show. So y'all just going to have to get totally used from Random Thoughts. It amazes me with all the things that go on. Everybody seems to want to have you focused on their problems. That to me is insane. Insane. And the problem that they're focusing on ain't even legit their problem. You focusing on somebody else's problem. What up, Lara? What's happening with you, brother? What's happening with you? Oh, damn, it is April, ain't it? My bad. Look at that. All right, keep me focused. But why are we focused on other people's problems? Why are we focused so hard on other people's problems? Especially when we got so much going on in our world that we should actually focus on with ourselves. And it's like, man, you focused on this, and that, and I'm okay with it. I truly am, because I don't care. But you get so caught up in what you focused on, you want to tell other people they should be focused on the same thing. Well, if enough people fighting the fire, everybody don't need to fight the fire. Somebody else need to be looking out to make sure don't let them catch on fire. But your issues ain't my issues. I got my own issues. And to watch the way people get up in arms about things that they have absolutely no control over. No control. Got an opinion, but you got no control over what happens. But you have been chosen by somebody who nobody gives a fuck about to be the leader of the free world. You know, I'm still trying to figure out who invite or or uninvite people to this black people picnic. Oh, you ain't get invited to the picnic. I don't want to come to this damn picnic. Oh, I'm taking you a black card. Cause what? You're stupid. I ain't gonna take my black card. Look at me. I look like I'm black. I am black. I identify as black. So, according to the law, can't do nothing. Why are we so caught up with controlling things that we have no control over? Why are we so caught up in wanting people to follow the same crazy shit that we follow? Again, as we talk about sheep and who missing out on this and who missing out on that, and you missed this, you ain't paying attention. In some instances, you're absolutely right. I ain't paying attention. Because it's just like me and DJ Yola, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. See, I ain't a big basketball fan, but I saw all the shit going on about a white girl who did the John Cena and a black girl who did the John Cena and pointed at the ring in front of the girl and everybody hollering, oh, it's a black-white issue, it's a this, it's a that. Okay. Ain't most issues black and white? So now we're getting caught up on the black-white issue? Okay. They didn't say nothing when the white girl did it. Okay. Most of y'all didn't even see the game. So you ain't supporting either one of them, but also now you got a vested interest. That's the part that really confuses me. It's things that you don't even give a shit about. Now all of a sudden you care. So if we know that racism exists and nobody denies this, if we know that this country that we live in is pro-white, how did this upset you to that point where this became a whole thing for you to live your whole day around? And I'm okay with either one. I played football. And guess what I did when I played football? I talked a lot of trash. There were some times I was probably unsportsmanlike in today's society because everybody's so sensitive. Everybody's so sensitive. Some of the things we said, let me not do that. Some of the things I said back in the day were completely, totally out of bounds and meant to be hurtful because we were taught to talk people out their game, which means we said some disrespectful things with a smile on my face. I can remember one game I played with Steve, and there was this corner, and he started off talking to me because I didn't talk initially. Well, I scored a touchdown on him, but I was watching him during the game because he had been talking about what he was going to do. When I scored my first touchdown, I jumped over the fence into the stands and kissed his girlfriend and came back. He was pretty good too, but he got kicked out of the game. But I did it to agitate him. I did it to agitate him. Was I wrong? Absolutely. But why are we getting so caught up in things that have no bearing on anything? But now, oh, you should pay attention to this, because if they do this to her, they'll do. It's a sport event that most people missed. Now, if we're going to pay attention to something, let's pay attention to how much attention we pay to women's sports while they're active. Most people still didn't watch the game. And if I remember correctly, a few months ago, everybody was talking about the difference between Sue Bird and LeBron James and why Sue Bird don't make LeBron James money. They're not the same. But y'all didn't make that racial. Go figure. Why wasn't that racial? See, I don't mind racial issues when they truly are racial. But people of color tend not to want to call racism if we're winning. It's something else different then. It's whatever. So how is it racial one way and not racial another way? So if we're going to have a conversation, an intelligent conversation, to me, that is the question. When is it truly racial? Who gets to make that decision? Who makes that call? And why? And I'm trying to figure it out because everybody love being a victim. We love being victims. And I'm not sure why we want to be victims so much. Play a role. When you come up, you come up. When you come down, you come down. Ladies, gentlemen, watch the WNBA. Watch the women's basketball if that's what you into. But don't piggyback, because you are really no better or worse than the hypocrites who came on and started dogging the black girl initially, saying that she was this, this, and this, but didn't say nothing about the white girl. You're no different than the people who say LeBron is different from Sue Bird. Everything is different. You have to measure them for what they are at the time. Why don't men and women get paid the same? Why don't they get paid the same? Well, it depends. There are times they should get paid the same, and there are times they shouldn't. That's just a fact of life. It's not racism, it's not sexism. It's business, it's finances. If LeBron goes to a city and plays basketball, he can sell out a stadium. You've seen this. Most people can't even tell you what Sue Bird's number is. So why would she be on the same level? Oh, she got as many MVPs, she got as many this. Right, but who cares? Who cares? If you ask people what team Sue Bird played for, what college she went to, what teams that she played for, you get crickets. This come from women who tell, oh, this is a man should be, why don't y'all support your sport? Why don't y'all promote it? Why don't y'all start wearing WNBA jerseys, which I see very few of it. When we start talking about problems and disparities in this, why not work on fixing the issue as opposed to furthering confusing it with bitchiness? How do we fix this? See, remember, they used to do this and they stopped it. Unsportsmanlike conduct. There's a lot of things in sports that have been done away with. Weren't racial. I don't see this as anything. And she's just saying whatever John Cena said. I ain't a wrestling fan. When Shorty pointed to her ring, I seen that in football games. When you got one player talking trash, but he's losing. And you'll see a player point to the scoreboard. Then you might have got a good play, but player, we winning. Is that racial? Tom Brady's been disrespectful. Lord knows we've heard about Michael Jordan's disrespect. We've heard about Larry Bird's disrespect. It's part of athletics. It's part of athletics. See, truth be told, it's part of life. There are very few of us who haven't said something that was disrespectful, shady, dismissive to somebody in a competitive moment, whether it was business, sports, or whatever. Joning each other, playing the bills, or whatever y'all call it. We all do it. Stop rushing to be the victim. Try to be the victor sometimes. We're gonna take a break because I want to talk about parents and kids because it's 15. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be right back. Hollers.
Bounty versus the old family dish towel. Drying with a fresh sheet of Bounty leaves your hands cleaner than a used dish towel that can carry and redistribute food residue. So ditch the dish towel for better hand hygiene. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service with Slow Burn. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge featuring a meticulous curated collection of premium cigars. It's more than a mobile lounge. It's an environment and an experience rich in history, luxury, and personality. An elegant extension of any celebration occasion. It's the perfect escape and meeting place, a space where you can relax or enjoy a shared passion. Have Slowburn plan your next big event or before you are planning. To celebrate your win over your athletic rival, you can shop our collections at www.slowburnwaco.com.
But if they want to tab, I'ma do the dab, yeah.
Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique to spice up your closet with trendy, unique looks. We have fashionable and chic looks at very affordable prices. Velvet Boutique offers free shipping all year long on all orders. Shop online at www.melvetboutique.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit.
Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio.
That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
At CDW, we get speed as the new currency of success.
Our team spends way too much time tending to outdated applications and software when they should be focused on driving application agility and innovation.
CDW Amplify Development Services modernizes software and application development to help accelerate innovation and digital transformation.
So you mean building new applications, UI, and mobile interfaces?
You said you needed to innovate more quickly.
Oh, so he's a listener.
To do more at scale, trust CDW Amplify Development Services.
Oh, damn. Looking at the wrong camera. Guess who's black? Guess who's back? It's me and my man Mo. So now that Mo is here, y'all know who responsible for keeping us on track, right? Mel passed the baton to Mo. I ain't got nothing to do with none of this. I'm just the dude with a headset. So I ain't responsible for nothing that happened from this point on. It's Mo and Mel controlling the soundboard. So I'm just here. Mo, you good, brother?
I'm good, man. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
You got audio? All right.
Oh yeah. So the show is titled Friends and Family. Even though it's kind of misleading, and this is one of the things, because somebody was talking to me, and I told you I do mentorship, and I was mentoring some boys, and it's actually about parents learning how to deal with their kids, because where do you cross the line? Because in today's society, I feel parents have to have a dual role in the relationship in the house, because a friendship is needed if you want to have open and honest communication with your kids, for them to tell you what's going on. I was reading some articles the other day, and it said that 1 in 3 kids has brought a weapon into a school. A weapon, not necessarily a firearm, but they have brought a weapon to school. 1 in 3 children have admitted to bringing a weapon. That is insane. 1 in 5 has admitted to bring, 1 in 5 kids have said that they knew of another child who had a gun in school. 1 in 5 knew that there was a gun in school that another child had. Now, 1 in 5, if you pick the typical school, which has, we're going to just keep it at round numbers, at 1,000, 1 in 5 is 20%. 20% of 1,000 is 200. So can you imagine there being 200 guns in a school? Our kids know, but they can't, won't, or don't tell anybody. This is insane. And we're so caught up into what the media tells us. Again, I had to do a little research. The media will tell you when there's a mass shooting, which I think by definition is 3 or more people who die. It may be 2, but 2 or more people, I'm sorry, for a mass shooting, 2 or more people have to get shot. Okay? 2 or more. If only 1 person gets shot, it's just called a school shooting. If no shots are fired, which has happened more times than you guys will ever believe, it doesn't even get reported. If no shots are fired, if you could look up the number of times that guns have been taken off students in schools, it is obscene. We talk about, I want to say the thing, it's been 200 school shootings or something so far this year. Shootings, not gun-related incidences, because they keep that from you. Parents, you have to talk to your kids, and you have to talk to them partially as a parent, partially as a peer. Somebody asked me the question yesterday, and I'm gonna make this connect. She said, why do men lie? And I say, I'm gonna answer your question because I see what you're doing, and I don't want to do what I tell people not to do. Don't mix it, answer the question first. Don't say, why do women lie? People lie because nobody wants to get in trouble. See, if me and Mo having a conversation, and I'm like I said, Mo my boy, so we can have conversations. And if I know Mo's wife is cheating, will I tell Mo? Oh, I'm gonna use better. If I say Mo's wife made a pass at me, will I tell Mo? I don't know. It all depends on what I think his response is gonna be. If I think he's gonna come off on me, guess what? There's a 99% chance that I ain't gonna say nothing, because that's how people respond to conflict. Now, if I think he's gonna take the information in a positive manner, I will tell him. We know how we perceive what we think somebody will take information. People lie because nobody wants to be in trouble. Nobody wants to willingly be in trouble. So if your kid will tell you something and you're going to fuss at them, chastise them, or beat them, guess what? They're not going to say shit. And I listen to people who tell me, oh, me and my kids have a great relationship. They can tell me anything. And I ask them, did your kid tell you when they lost virginity? Oh, she saving themselves till they get married. See, I already know one of y'all lying. One of y'all lying. Saving yourself to marriage is opposite. I ain't saying it won't happen. I'm just saying, if that's what you believe, y'all can't have a great relationship. Y'all can't. I can say I've been blessed. I've raised good-looking kids. My boys have been really handsome. The girls have been really cute. I ain't thought nobody was gonna make it. I ain't think nobody was gonna make it to college unscathed. So we had real conversations, but it took a minute because they could talk to me about anything. Parents, are you doing this? Are you giving your kids open communication? We gotta learn how to do this. We gotta learn how to do this. And I said, oh, I ain't finna be friends with my kids. And Mo, your parents still living?
No, sir.
When they were, did you talk to them like they were your friends?
No, hell no. Hell no, man.
And I'm sure you loved them, right?
Of course, yeah.
But there's certain things you weren't comfortable saying to them, right? So
yeah,
how do we bridge that gap where kids can be comfortable saying things to us so that we don't have the major gaps like we did? We laugh about them because they're funny to us now. And it's crazy. I can talk to my dad about sex. When my mama bring up sex, I'm a virgin and I go to a corner. I'm not having Nan come. When she's like, you got kids? I was like, Mom, my kids are all adopted. I will not to this day admit to my mother I have ever had sex. I just won't do it. But then if my dad come to me, we can have that conversation all day long, but it's other subjects I won't talk to him about. And it's like, I'm 57. I ran into something and hurt my hand, almost broke my finger, and I said, shit. And I looked around at my mom and said, oh, I'm sorry. She was like, you know how old you are? I was like, yeah. But I ain't supposed to curse in front of you because I don't want to get hit. I'm 57. I still don't curse in front of my mom. Now I know people who do. Teach his own. I don't do it. So how do we bridge this gap, ladies and gentlemen? For those who got kids, where your kids can talk to you and you not judge them on their content, because sometimes they have to tell it to you like they heard it, which means they can't have that filter. You got to let them know what's filterable, but say how you mean, because you know you can't say that in general conversation. It's a ton of guns in these schools. There's a ton of weapons in these schools. It's a ton. And Mo's married, but they don't have kids yet, but he can still be a mentor, and he's got to be able to explain how this thing goes, because he got a group about mentoring boys. How do we get these boys to the point where they can talk openly and honestly about what's going on, so we can deal with their emotions, so we can deal with this, so we can deal with that, so we can deal with them being bullied and what their response might be? Because with the access they got the guns now, Mo, when you're doing the stuff in your group about boys becoming men, when a boy comes to you and say, hey Mo, you know, these boys at school, they threatening me, you know, man, I ain't sure what to do. What do you do? Please, and I know Mo ain't gonna say this, but we can't keep saying go to church and pray. That ain't
Nah,
work
man.
too.
Oh,
I ain't knocking prayer.
listen,
That ain't work.
I don't go that direction, man. I'm more of a, listen, that happened to me. I don't know if it happened to you, DVP, but it happened to me. So I'm more of a realist about those situations. And I tell them what I really think, which is in those cases, you got a couple of choices you can make and choose the one that works for you. I don't necessarily tell them what to do because I'm not in their shoes, but I tell them the options and I tell them the consequences of those options, and they make their own decision or talk to, you know, their mom or dad and make their own decision. But I don't tell people what to do. I give them the options and say, listen, if you go in there and you beat people down, you're gonna get in trouble. You might get in trouble. Give them the facts, man. None of this sugarcoating stuff. That does not help, especially boys. It don't help girls
Right.
either, but especially boys.
But if we tell them what they really should do, which is let the principal know, well, I don't want to feel like I'm no punk. Well, punks don't go to jail. Be a punk. Be a punk. Stay out. But that community, that door has to be open. And as I'm looking at it, and I just picked that one first because it's a couple of issues that have really been bothering me.
Well, hold on,
hopefully Mel
DVP.
can.
Before you go on,
Yes, sir.
I just want to say, I think people just need to realize that problems are not single. There's not a single solution to problems. They're multifaceted. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just go to the principal. It's go to the principal. It's tell your parents. It's protect yourself as well. You know what I'm saying? There's no single solution that is ideal. You do whatever you need to
Right.
do so you can survive under those circumstances and deal with that situation.
Because it's a it's multi-layered. When my daughter was in elementary school, she came home and she was like, "Dad, this boy touched me." I said, "What do you mean this boy touched you?" He said, he put his hands on my butt. I said, "What'd you do?" I said, "I told the teacher." I said, "Which teacher did you tell?" She said, "Miss Taylor." I said, "Okay." I said, "If he do it again, tell Miss Taylor. If she don't do nothing, tell her you want to go to the principal's office." So she came home 3 days later. She said, "Dad, he did it again." I said, "What'd you do?" She said, "I did what you told me." I told Miss Taylor. She didn't do nothing, so I went and told the principal. I said, "What did he do?" She said, "He didn't do nothing." I said, "Okay, cool." So I said, "Babe, let me see your books." She got a science book, biggest book she got. I said, "This is what I want you to do. Next time that boy touches you on your butt, I want you to take this book, and I want you to smash him in the face. And then go to the principal's office and call me." She said, "Huh?" I said, "Next time he touch on your butt, take the book you got, smash him in the face. Go to the principal's office and call me." So, I don't know, 2 weeks later, I get a call. She said, "Dad, I'm in the principal's office." I said, "What happened?" She said, I hit him in the face with the book." So I already know what that meant. So I go up to the school. I'm in the principal's office. The boy got a little broken nose. And the principal's like, "Yeah, your daughter hit him in the face with the book and broke his nose. We're gonna have to suspend her." I said, "Suspend her for what?" He said, "Well, we don't promote violence up here." I said, "Why did she hit him with the book?" And he looked at me. He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, why did she hit him with the book?" And he looked at me. I said, you didn't ask her why she hit him with the book? He's like, no. So I called in the office. I said, babe, why would you hit the little boy with the book? She said, because you told me next time he felt on my butt to hit him with a book. I said, wow, so he sexually assaulted you and you hit him with a book. I said, before you did this, what did I tell you to do before you hit him with a book? Like, you told me to tell my teacher, Miss Taylor, and I told her twice, and you told me to tell the principal. And I told him. I said, when you told Miss Taylor and the principal, what did they do about this boy who touched on your butt? She said, well, they didn't do nothing, which is why you told me to hit him with the book. I said, so, principal, you just heard the whole story. Did she or did she not tell you this little boy touched on her butt? And then he just looked at me like I was stupid. I said, did she or did she not? Well, see what? There's no well. See, that's a yes or no question. So you want to suspend my daughter when she's been sexually assaulted and you knew about it? Well, his parents said we're gonna all have to have a talk. No, we don't have to do shit, player. You got a kid who's a sexual predator, and you ain't doing shit about it. And and this is one of those things where my wife at the time, she initially didn't like my response. I said, but she can't keep letting this go on and keep telling teachers. And by the time she calls us, when we get up there, this little boy gonna be gone. She's got to respond to this right now, and she's got to stop this. Do I want her to hurt this little boy? No, but I don't want the adults to keep letting this little boy feel on her, and he don't receive nothing. Because she done told y'all 3 times, and he received nothing. So for all y'all didn't do, this book is gonna teach him not to put his hands on girls' butt. At least one girl in particular, which is the only one I'm caring about right now. The only one I care about. Did she tell the boy to stop? I don't know. And Mel, I actually don't care. Once she told the teachers, it's the teacher's responsibility. Because the little boy had a little size on, that's why we picked the book. She was a little on the small side, but that's why I told her, hit on that book. I don't know too many people whose face is good enough to stop a science book. But none of the adults wanted to do what they were supposed to do, so they were breeding this environment. And you want to suspend my daughter, I'm all well and cool with that. I just need everybody name, because we sure going to court. Because if she gets suspended, he going to jail. So are you and you and you. Because the law says once she tells y'all are her caretakers. Y'all supposed to fix this issue. Because his parents want to know who's going to pay for his hospitalization. I don't know if he go to juvenile, I'm sure they'll take care of it. It's not my problem. But y'all should have taught y'all little boy not to do this. And this was a little issue. And I see, we're taught to hit people back and do this and do that. And it wasn't my first option. And it's lucky, she was a girl. But I told my son to do the same thing. If somebody's bothering you, tell a teacher first. Teacher don't do nothing, tell the teacher and the principal. Don't go tell 2 teachers. I need you to go above her head and tell somebody else. Now, once you got these things done, now I can jump in. And that was my way of teaching them how to deal with things. But they felt okay enough to come to me and tell me when something was going wrong, as opposed to sitting around asking their friends what they should do or asking the streets what they should do and just festering. And I'm saying is we got to open that line of communication. Because, man, I know you got kids, at least one. So how do we get that across to them, what their safe zone is when we're not around to protect them? Because we're not there. And as Mo said, we can give them some options, and we can tell them what might happen based on their responses, because for every action there's a repercussion. Action, reaction, all that. So how do we get to this? Because now, back to the gun issue. If your child tells you that their classmate has a gun, what do you do? Because if you go up there and say something, then your child becomes the de facto snitch. And in our community, we are so against snitching because we don't understand what the word means. It stupefies us. Because my daughter can't be the snitch if she ain't doing nothing wrong. She's protecting the safety of her and other kids if she say who got a gun. That's just the way I look at it.
Look, hey, that story you told, that's a good story. And I'm going to say that the snitch code shouldn't even come into play if they got an honor system at the school. If you bring information, look, you know they have that for the police. They got an honor system. You bring a gun in, we don't ask no questions. You know what I mean? So it should be the same thing at the school. If you bring them information that's gonna help the safety of the kids there, help the safety of the people who work there, There should be no more questions asked. Just give them the information. You go about your business. It's anonymous, man. It should be that way. You know what I mean? So I think that's a protocol problem within the school. Just like with the situation with your daughter. That was a protocol problem. She told people that, look, I'm getting unwanted touches. What you gonna do about it? They didn't do nothing. She told somebody else. They didn't do nothing. It had to come all the way to dad before something got done. That's not a process. That's not a system that you put in place that's gonna protect kids. If somebody hear that story, they ain't nobody gonna send their kids to that school no more.
Because, man, what would you do if it was your daughter? And I don't know if you got daughters or son, but what do you do? And we're going to make you be a single parent for the argument of this conversation, because we're going to make you be a single mother. As a single mother, what do you do when your daughter tells you, and she was in the, I want to say my daughter was in the fourth or fifth grade. What do you do? How do you protect your daughter? Like I said, because you got to work. You can't just walk around with her all the time. And, as much as we want to do it, we can't go up there and just snatch the little kid. And in my world, if my daughter ain't told the powers to be, I really don't have no authority just yet. I can go up there and be the rambunctious dad and get banned from the school because I'm going to find this little boy and we're going to do all this. But the minute he say he don't do it or the teacher say they don't know nothing about it, then I look like the asshole because they haven't been put on notice. Because I'm a firm believer in putting the proper people on notice first. But again, this comes from open conversation when we keep talking about, like I said, the show is titled Family and Friends, because at some level of family, we need to be friends so that we can have the conversations. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Mo, we have deeper conversations with family. I'm sorry, we have deeper conversations with friends than we do family. Because I don't know why we do it, but we will have a better conversation most of the time with a friend before family. And
I think I know why. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
You would agree with that our deeper conversations come from friends.
I agree 100%. But there's a reason. Yeah, I have a reason for that. I agree with that 100%. And it's because it's the same thing. Look, I'll just give you this example. My wife used to run a tutoring center. And when the kids would come in, she would work with them to get them to understand the work that they're working on, whether it's math, science, whatever it is. Man, we had parents come in and the parents would tell her, "How'd you do that? We couldn't get them. We couldn't get them to figure this out or to work. We couldn't even work with him. He would argue with us, this and that." And we finally figured out that you are more than familiar with what I'm about to say, but it's the arm's length. That's what the process is. It's if you got an arm's length and you disconnect it and disassociate it from the person, you probably can communicate better with them than their own parents. And that's just a fact. That's sociology. Nothing I can tell you about that.
And to me, that's what we got to change. We gotta be able to talk to our own kids. And like I say, when I'm mentoring at this school, one of the boys I mentor, he lives with his mother and his father. Oops. I know they all don't want to hear that because we want to blame everything on single mothers, but that's a whole nother fight that we're not going to have on this show. He lives with his mother and his father. He still needs mentorship. And he explained something that he did that was so wrong. He was that wrong. He's smoking weed in the house. He's smoking weed. Dad caught him. Beat him. So now he got an issue with his mom. He got an issue with his dad because his dad beat him. He got an issue with his mom. So we talking, and I was like, well, why do you have an issue with your father? He's like, he didn't have to hit me. I said, why he didn't have to hit you? He said, he could have just talked to me and I would have stopped. Okay. See, that's that 21st century, and we've done a show about this. Nobody can remember being beaten and feeling love, but it's something we still carry on because everybody say, oh, I got beatings, look at me. And I say, yeah, look at you. You think beating is the answer to everything, and sometimes it's not. This boy wanted to be talked to. Now, granted, this boy got some size on him, but he says his dad got some size on him too. So I listened, and I said, well, why are you mad at your mom? He said, because she didn't defend me when he hit me. See, now what we just did, unknowingly, because even though he's a big kid, he's sensitive. Forget what y'all saying about men being logical and not emotional. His dad hit him, and all he wanted to do was his dad to talk to him. His mama didn't defend him. That's what his mind says. He just made two enemies. He don't want to talk to them about nothing. And we had to sit there and we talked. I said, "Do you understand why your dad hit you?" He said, "Yeah." He said he didn't have to. I said, "Do you understand that what you did wrong?" He said, "Your dad." I said, let's just say for shits and giggles, your dad is wrong. But you were wrong. Had you not done your wrong, your dad would have done his wrong. Do you see how you were the catalyst for all of this? And he was like, "Well, when you put it like that, I do." He said, "But I didn't see at first why I deserved to get hit." I said, "Why would he talk to somebody who's doing something wrong and disrespectful in his house?" I said, "Because I'm assuming you knew that you shouldn't be smoking in the house." He's like, "Yeah." I said, "So why do you think he should have talked to you first? Did you talk to him before you wanted to smoke?" He's like, "Nope." I said, "So you don't see how your disrespect begot his disrespect?" And he just looked at me and he started smiling. I said, "What are you smiling about?" He said, "Because now I don't have to be mad at my dad. Now I understand why he hit me, because I made him hit me." And I said, "I don't want you to think you made him hit you, because I don't want that to be the lesson. I want you to understand that your bad decision caused him to make a bad decision." And he just like, "Well, I feel better now," because I was upset because I thought he was just wrong. And I thought my mom was wrong. I said, "I'm going to tell you why your mom was wrong. Because your dad run the house. You were wrong. She had to stand by him because even though what he did was wrong, he was defending the principles of the house." So LeBron, I saw him last week, and he said, "Yeah, me and my mom and dad, we're in a better place now because I understood why they did what they did to me." Whereas before, he never did because there was never a conversation. And this is what parents have to understand. Those of us who want to understand why we got the beatings, they at least came with a conversation. So we can say, "Yeah, we didn't feel love, but I know why my mama beat me. I know why my dad beat me. Because they didn't give me that bullshit about this hurt you more than it hurt me, whatever." They beat us. They told us why they beat us. They told us not to do it again, and they wouldn't get another beating. And for those of us that didn't, we didn't. There was a communication thing going on where we were on the same level. They got to drop down a little bit because you're talking to a younger child. You're not talking to an adult. You have to make sure your children understand what's going on. Lots of us are not doing this. Lots of parents, lots of uncles, aunties, nephews, we're not talking to the younger generation to make sure they understand what their decision making causes. So, as Mo said, when we talk to these kids and we tell them about the consequence and repercussion, and I tell the kids, when somebody step on your shoes and you get mad, you can hit them and it'll make you feel better. But you're going to get suspended. I guarantee you the kid that stepped on your shoes is not going to get suspended. So when you suspended for a week and you miss all your schoolwork, who going to get kicked back? You or the person who stepped on your shoes? And they be like, "Man, I'm going to get kicked back." Because somebody stepped on your shoes, you felt disrespected. But the streets tell you to defend yourself. Mo gonna tell you that's not a defend yourself kind of thing. DVP gonna tell you that's not a defend yourself kind of thing. That's a move your feet out the way kind of thing.
Yeah,
Would you agree
and
with
and the
that?
thing, I would 100%, and I just add this: most of the little black boys and black girls walking around already got 2 strikes against them just when they come out the house. Third strike is on the way, baby. So
And
you
it's
need to go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, and I'm just saying, man, they need to be prepared because you don't get it's no equity in this situation. You know what I mean? If they already got 2 strikes against them, they the world, the environment, the forces in this world is just going to be more harsh against them. I mean, we saw it, you probably talked about it, but we saw this with the basketball, right? We saw the college, the NCAA, right? You saw what
Yeah.
happened, right? The white girl did it, then the black girl did it, and what was the papers? The papers all about the black girl. So we got to
Right.
protect ourselves, those situations because that you're going to get scrutinized more. They're gonna look at you more. Look, what happened when we go in the stores? Oh, he gonna steal. Got to follow him.
And the crazy thing is, and this is why I try to get people to understand. Yeah, I'm a cop, but don't let that get you twisted. You got 2 strikes most time with cops, but in your own neighborhood where people like you exist, you got 3 strikes because it's your neighborhood who's judging you the harshest. The harshest punishment ain't coming from the cops. People calling the cops because you look a certain way. When I tell people, and don't get it wrong, I ain't excusing cops, but when me and Mo had a conversation, and for these instances that cops will call, I said, go to the 911 tape and see what the caller said to 911. See, we will look at what the cop does, but if Mo called the cops and said there's a man outside my house with a gun, guess what the cops hear? There's a man outside with a gun. They don't hear play gun, toy gun, or I ain't sure if he got something, I ain't sure if it's a stick. They don't hear that. They hear what 911 relayed to them that the caller relayed. So in our own neighborhoods, we are putting out false information to put the cops to come in on high alert.
So look, let me interject,
go ahead.
DVP. That very situation you talked about, that's what happened to Tamir Rice. You know the story.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to Tamir Rice.
Yeah. And the thing is, because, if I say it's to some kids out here throwing rocks, the cops ain't going to come. So I'm going to change rocks to guns. And that's why I tell people, don't keep listening to what people say. Go to the tape. The tape will tell you why some of the cops came in heavy and ready to go. Because the call said that. They didn't say it was a disturbance. People know the trigger words to get the cops to do certain things. And when they use them, you can't blame the cop for being ready for what he heard. Again, I ain't defending bad cops. I'm saying, as Mo said, you got 2 strikes in life. But in our own communities, we got 3 strikes. One, because most of us know who we are. We know we ain't shit. So we want to make everybody else be shit. When these same boys that I deal with, they in school, and I tell them, even when you're trying to do right, you know how long you got to work to undo the history that you have? The little boy that was smoking weed, you already in a program for bad kids. How did you get here? You didn't volunteer for this shit. You have a history. So when a teacher said you said something out of pocket, you swear you didn't say it. I believe you. But the only reason I believe you is I've only been knowing you for 6 weeks. But guess what you can't get? In this school with 12 teachers who deal with y'all, I can't find one teacher who believes you didn't say it, because you have developed a history of talking out of pocket. Now, they all admit you're doing better with me, but the 6 weeks you've been with me don't undo the 2.5 years you've been with them. And that's what we don't understand. Our history, our bad blood comes from dealing with each other on a personal level. It didn't come from the government. It didn't come from the system. It came because we see this, we perpetuate this, we say it out loud. We treat each other the worst. Now, Mo, you got something to say, but because I'm trying to do something different, we're going to let Mel take us to a break, and we're going to come back because I'm trying to do this like a regular show. So, Mel, can you get us up out of here and take us somewhere special for 2 minutes and 2 seconds?
Majesty is a premium health and wellness tea line focused on bringing delicious yet healthy tea blends to the community. Filled with an abundance of vitamins and antioxidants, we work to blend teas with exotic spices and fruits to produce scrumptious and wholesome beverages. So check us out at mymajesties.com. That's MyMajesties.com. My Majesties, an Urban Passport member.
Some carriers will give you just one measly entertainment subscription. One is no fun. With Verizon, there's up to 7 entertainment subscriptions with your unlimited plan. That's 7 times the... 7 times the... No! 7 times the... Music, gaming, Disney Plus, Hulu, ESPN Plus, and more. That's 7 times the entertainment! Because everyone deserves better. And with plans starting at just $35, better costs less than you think.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories, officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
Oh, did I tell y'all that my little theme music come from my partner, DJ Hobo? I just had to throw that in there. We unapologetically black. All right, so we back. And we still talking about, like I said, the title of the show is Friends and Family, but it's more about parents and kids and their relationships because we got to have a way of talking to them because we got to figure out how to make their world safer. We got to figure out how to stop stereotyping each other. We have to figure these things out, how we can have productive communication and stop trying to. This is where me and Mo are going to take two different approaches because I need for Mo to take a different approach from me. We got to stop trying to scare them from the government when, in my world, the biggest danger is in our community. In my world, we are the biggest danger. See, where I come from, in my world, yeah, the cops are what they are. The cops are lazy. I'm just telling you what's a fact. We only go to where we're called to. We go to where we're called. Now, do some profile, yeah, but right now I'm just talking about conversation. When people start putting out that thing, oh, I got to talk to my kids about what to do if they get pulled over by cops. Well, do the studies because y'all love research. Y'all love research. Look and see how many people cops kill in a month versus how many people we kill in our neighborhoods in a week. Let the numbers bear out. Are the cops scary? In some instances, absolutely. Are they more scary than the kids that they go into school with? Mo, you're a historian for some police events and stuff. Can you name one police event in your lifetime where you've seen one cop kill 16, 17 people?
No. No.
Can you name one where you've seen 10 cops kill 16 or 17 people?
No.
So if this happens in our neighborhood, where we got people doing this shooting and all this stuff, and people want to talk about, oh, the cops this. Well, it's your friends. I have 6, maybe 7 friends who in the past 2 years have lost a child to gun violence from their friends. I do not know of one person personally who lost a friend or family member to a cop. Not one. The numbers don't bear that out. But we're telling our kids to be scared of cops. We're not telling our kids to pay attention to the school teachers, to the priests, to the doctors, to their friends. Well, be scared of cops when you see them. They ain't the ones who harming them. So when we talk to them about this, we're pushing them into the hands of ready-made predators. We're pushing them into the hands of people who are waiting to prey on them. Oh yeah, we need to start a gang so we can protect ourselves from this. And they're wrapping our kids up. And these conversations, as we become so distracted, we have an unconscious bias. A lot of us have an unconscious bias toward police or the government because it's easy to blame them. And I'm not saying the government ain't to blame for a lot of things, but most of what happens in our home happens because of us, because we don't give out good information. We don't tell them about the true things that they should be worried about. Most of us who have had our house broken into, they grew up in the hood. It wasn't by the cops. It wasn't by nobody white. It wasn't by nobody who worked for the government. It was by somebody who our kids let come over to play. They cased the place and saw. Sean Taylor got killed by who? Visitors to his house. Most of these athletes who have been robbed is by people who they have let in their house at a party. Wasn't the cops, wasn't the government. This is something that in our neighborhood we have to pay more attention to. And this causes us to start having uncomfortable conversations as we get older. As we get older. I ain't never been to Mel's house. I'm sorry, I ain't never been to Mo's house. But he live in another state. I'm willing to bet Mo don't have a lot of people over to his house. And Mo is a friendly guy, funny guy. But why do we start to become protective of our personal space as we get older? Mo?
Well, look, it comes down to this. Like usually hangs with like. And I grew up in bad circumstances. I grew up like most people, just struggling, trying to get through life. And when you learn better, you do better. So a lot of people just don't fit in my box. You know what I mean? If you out here doing the wrong stuff, I can't mess with you. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? That means that comes from and judge me if you want, but that comes from how you deal with women, to how you deal with your kids, to how you deal with people in general. You know what I mean? I gotta my circle gotta be good people, because that's what helps me stay level and confident. And I make moves, man. So if I'm gonna make a move, I want the right people in my circle to come with me.
And it's part of what we learn subconsciously, because I would say most of us, if we're honest, if we knew we had a friend in trouble, we'd rather try to give them some money to go stay at a hotel for a couple of weeks than let them in our house, because we've learned our friend may be trustworthy, but we've learned and heard too many other stories where somebody who was trustworthy came into the house and caused havoc. So we just rather not do it. Most of us have an unwritten rule that if it ain't a blood relative, they can't come over here. Why is that? Because we know we believe that most of them are good people, but we've heard stories about friends being turned on by friends. But this is a conversation that we won't engage in. And as parents, as uncles, as aunties, as mentors, when we don't press the issue of these kids and picking better friends, we set them up for failure. We can keep warning our kids about the Klan, about the cops, but if we don't tell them how to pick better friends, what invariably gets most of them in trouble? Same school, I'm talking to one of the top athletes, and they brought him to me. They say, "Mr. Bell, can you talk to him? He a good kid. He making good grades, but he got to go to juvenile next week for a court hearing." I asked him what happened. He's like, "Man, I stole some stuff from the store." I said, "Why the fuck are you stealing stuff?" He said, "Man, the folk I was hanging with." Dude, you a top effing athlete. And I bet these people who got you to steal, I bet ain't none of them I bet ain't none of them playing sports, and I bet ain't none of them got good grades. He just looked at me and started smiling, put his head down. He said, "Yeah, they don't." You're right. So they trying to bring you down with them. But you want to act like you still cool with everybody, but ain't nobody told you that even at 14 or 15, which is this conversation need to be had when you're 9 or 10, that you got to be real careful about picking your friends when you got something to lose. We're not having this conversation with our kids, boys or girls. We're not having this super duper important conversation in our family and friend connection. So who is teaching these young boys, these young girls, how to pick friends? because they're associating themselves with people who ain't got shit to lose. And you know what they tell me? The hardest person to fight is somebody who ain't got nothing to lose. It's hard to beat a man who don't care about his own life because he don't care what he hurt and trying to affect you. So when we let these kids pick these bad people who ain't got shit to lose, but my kid is making straight A's, my kid on the football team, my kid is these things going. He got a nice place to live. But they telling him to smoke. They telling him to do this. The only conversation I'm having is, man, gotta watch out for them cops. They're gonna try to kill you. Well, it's these kids he's hanging around with. It's gonna get them in the cops' radar. But I don't want to talk about them. Why is it that we won't bridge that gap and have this uncomfortable conversation? And this is where I go back to the thing. It goes back that part of your conversation has to be as a parent. 50% of your conversation has to be as a friend so they can talk to you freely and openly so you can understand how they are processing information. Mo has got to understand, Mel has got to understand that there is no 8-year-old child, there is no 15-year-old child, hell, there is no 16, 17-year-old child that's processing information like we do as adults with knowledge, training, and experience. So we have to talk down to them at a level that they can understand so that we can get the message across. We can't keep telling them what we've done in 30, 40, 50 years because they ain't been around that long. But this is a conversation we have to start having early. What stops us, Mo? What stops us, Mel? Why don't we want to tell them how to find friends?
Well, I think so. Look, I want to add this, man, because I think one thing that we do that's really misguided is we don't teach our kids what loyalty is and that there are limits to loyalty. You know, we got these sayings like ride or die. And the hell with that. I'm not going to teach my kid that ride or die. I'm going to teach, listen, if be sensible about the decisions you make. You know what I mean? We gotta instill that in them. If there's nobody teaching that, you can't really blame the kid. The kid's gonna learn what comes to them. But we gotta be proactive and say, listen, if there's people you like and they decide to go down the wrong road, you got a decision to make. I mean, my personal journey was, one of the best friends I hung out with when I was young. This dude sold drugs, he smoked and all that. I couldn't do that though, because I was in the Army, I was in the Air Force. So I couldn't do none of that because they catch me in the drug test, I'm out. So, but me and him, we was tight. But he go his way, I go my way. But we was cool. But in the end, we had to go our separate ways just because, his path was his path and my path was my path. And we got to teach our kids that. That's what we got to teach our kids.
Yeah. What does the song say? Teach them well and let them lead the way. We can't keep waiting till they get. It's too late to talk to your kid once they're in the system. Once they're in the system, once they are in the system, that means truly now, that means they legitimately have 2 or 3 strikes against them, just like they got in the community. When there's a light opening and they can get out, you got to teach them. It's funny now. I see men doing, I see grown women doing it. Ladies, what would you tell yourself? What message would you share with your younger self? And the ladies say, pick the square guy, because they learn. The guys, what would you tell yourself in your younger days? Pay attention to school, be the square guy. We know this, and we have reasons why. This is something we have got to start passing on to the kids. We have got to start giving them real world examples and telling them about the friends that we had to leave behind because they took another path that left them behind. That's their choice. But if we don't let them know that, hey, we had to do the same thing. I had friends who sold drugs, used drugs. Growing up, they were the best friends I had. But once I wanted a career and I didn't want to be in that shady lifestyle no more, I had to elevate. My elevation left them behind. Oh, you think you better than us? No, I'm different right now. Now I am better because I ain't in the hood. I ain't in the projects. I ain't chasing 15, 16-year-old girls no more. Yeah, so I'm better than you, and I'm okay with that. And if it means that we got to travel in different paths, now guess what? I'm okay with that too. Because, it's funny, I was talking to my cousin, and he moved out of state. And, he doing his thing, trying to be an adult, and he got him a girlfriend, he getting serious about her. He said, yeah, man, we're going to look at some places. You know, we want to try to stay in together thing to see how they go. And I was like, you know, well, what's your credit score look like? He said, yo, cuzzo, I've been working on my credit score because we can't stay in a hood neighborhood. I don't want her staying somewhere. I'm scared for her. See, I like that. Years ago, he wouldn't have made that statement. He would have just been looking somewhere he was comfortable with. And that's one of the things I was telling somebody else. And I guarantee Mo will co-sign this. And again, I ain't never met him. As grown men, if it's just us, we can stay in the hood. Because we dudes. But when you get that woman that you love, you don't want to stay in the hood no more. You don't want to stay in the hood. It ain't safe for her. You don't want to have to leave a pistol at the house. You can't stay at work. You can't concentrate at work because you know you're in a shitty neighborhood. But you're in a shitty neighborhood because you never chose to do better when you had opportunity. Because if you would have did better when you had opportunity, you would have set her up for a nice neighborhood to start with. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was gonna add to what you're saying, man, because the fact of the matter is really this is that uh you'll have a good woman because she's gonna make you elevate your game anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you meet somebody and you talking about let's live at a certain level, she, in most cases, she will make you try to figure out how to get to that next level. And that motivation, sometimes that motivation is all the brother needs, man. They don't know it, but that's some good motivation, and the strong brothers can handle that. The weak brothers would be like, oh, you trying to challenge me, this or that, or whatever. But the strong brothers can handle that, and you know what? They'll perform and they'll be successful and they'll head for greener pastures.
And this is something we got to understand. And I'm going to put this challenge to you, Mo. Well, we got to understand because sometimes, and I ain't knocking no woman that we ever ran across that made us better, but ask them why did they choose us? See, they already saw something within us because we wasn't like the bottom of the barrel, brother. We might have needed a little fine tuning, but we didn't need remolding. We just need to have our little nails filed down. We needed some rough edges filed down. They saw that. It's easier to attract, fellas. It's easier to attract a quality woman when you ain't a finished product. You just got some rough edges. But they don't want the rough guy. They just want the guy with the rough edges. And there is a difference. There is a difference because now they can see they ain't got to bring you out of the ghetto. You already out the ghetto. So you trying to go up. You just being a little slower than you normally would. Because if we're honest, there's a part of us that still likes the old ways because we were comfortable with it. It wasn't good for us, but it was a comfort level. We knew everybody. We felt the sense of safeness. Moving up is scary. Moving out of your neighborhood is scary because you don't know nothing about the neighbors. You don't know nothing about nobody. Whereas in the hood, I know if something happened within 3 to 5 minutes, Ray and John, them, they at the door with me. We ready. We about this. If something happened in my new environment, it's gonna take 40 minutes for my partners to get here. That's a scary thought for that's a scary thought for us. So we kind of float between two worlds, moving up and staying where we at. Cause staying where we at is safe. Moving up it's better, but we don't know nobody. But when we're in this world, that's when we attract a lot of good women. Cause they see us want to go up. And when they give us that little push, because we don't want them in this old world with us. So it makes it easier for us to elevate. We want to do something different. And guess what? Guess what I learned? We don't want to admit this, Mo, but all we need is an excuse to do better. We can blame it on her. Oh, man, why you leave? Man, I got a girl, man. She ain't going to stay down here. We don't want to be there. No way, but we can't say because I thought I was better than you. But we can blame it on our woman, can't we? She's our whole excuse for doing better. She's our whole excuse.
Yeah,
Because we
I
don't
use
want to
that
take...
one.
Yeah. And I said, damn, that's truly why most dudes do better. But they need that woman, and so they can blame her. Man, man, my girl can't stay over there, man. She ain't about that shit. Knowing she would, but man, she made me get that. She made me get that house over there. I would have stayed down here where the lights go off every 2-3 days. I would have been happy with this. I would have been. But we
Hey,
all
look, man.
what's
Look,
up?
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's a two-way street. I tell my woman to do that too. I say, listen, if you got to get out of a jam or something, blame it on me. You know what I'm saying? Tell them, look, my
Yeah.
husband said I need to come home. We
Oh
got
yeah.
some few things we got to do. You know what I'm saying? Blame it on me.
Oh, It's definitely a two-way street. My mom used to tell me, she said, I knew when you didn't want to do something because you'd always tell your friends to ask me. She said, as soon as one of them say, Darren said one of them, I already knew to say no because you didn't want to go. Because you normally just come and say, hey, mom, can I go? That meant you wanted to go. Hey, we've been doing this forever. But like I say, more the women pick us out because we're already trying to move up. We just ain't fully embraced it yet because we don't want to move up by ourselves. But if we get that good woman to move up with us, oh, we take off like jets then. But they already see it in us. And that's why, it's funny. It's funny when I look at guys who want to call everybody a name. Don't no real man want this. Ain't no real man gonna marry no woman with 3 kids. Dude, where you been? This shit happen all the time. Just say you. She this. They just want to have sex with her. Well, let's be honest. 7 times out of 10 we want to have sex anyway, whether she got 3 kids or not. So saying that a man just wants to have sex, that's kind of dumb. Because guess what? Women want to have sex too. So stop saying that. Just say that ain't what you want to do. Again, elevation is elevation. And sometimes you elevate with packages. Sometimes you don't. Everybody's got some baggage. Where do you lose respect for the baggage? But we're so into being dismissive. If Mo want to date a woman with 2, 3 kids, it don't matter what DVP think. I'm gonna look at Mo and see if Mo happy. If Mo look happy, and if we start having our boy talks and he got a plan, shit, I'm all in for him. If Mo sounding like he dragging and he ain't happy no more, he always tired and all he want to do now is work not to go home, then we'll have a different conversation. And as Mo said earlier, if you ain't strong enough to do it, just remove yourself from the equation. If you ain't strong enough to raise these kids, I ain't saying remove yourself from the equation. Ask for help. Ask for help. Ask somebody. I got a meeting scheduled with some parents so they will stop beating their kids. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've had to beat your kid more than twice, it ain't working. It ain't working. 2 is top. After 2, them beatings ain't hurting them no more. You got to look at something different. You got to look at something different. Everybody ain't scared of shit. Some of these kids can't wait to get put out the house, so when you threaten you're going to put them out, that ain't nothing, especially if you ain't got shit in the house that requires them to stay. One kid can't do his homework. He got no electricity. And it's crazy. This is how screwed up the world is. He 14. I said, well, call me when you get home. And he looked at me. He started laughing. So what you like? He said, Mr. Bell, I don't have no phone. I'm thinking, damn, I thought everybody had a phone nowadays. But he ain't got no cell phone. I said, you ain't got no house phone? He said, no, sir, we don't have no house phone. What the hell? How can he get in touch with me? How you going to get in touch with me when he get home? Because I want to know why he late for school every morning. He oversleep. His mama going to work. She can't call him and wake him up. If anybody ever need a phone, get a little boy a phone so you can wake his ass up. Get him something. But we become so accustomed to everybody having phones now. Who ain't got a phone? Hell, I see these little elementary school kids with phones. And I'm thinking, damn, Mo, how do we get to school on time? Well, we did have a house phone. But how do we do stuff how do we compete without a cell phone? Just think how hood and how much trouble we would have got into if we'd had these electronic devices. We'd have all been bank robbers. All of us would have been. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. Technology can help and it can hurt.
But how do you not have a house phone? How do you not have a house phone?
Yeah,
If you
no.
got
Listen,
kids.
I lived that life, man, and it's that's circumstantial. I lived that life, man. We didn't have a phone, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we didn't have heat. I mean, but that was those were my circumstances, and you figure a way. Everybody can't relate to that, but if that's your situation, that's your circumstance, you'll figure a way around it. I met a lot of people who didn't have stuff, and I was one of them. And so it just became nothing. After a while, it became nothing. It became like, oh, I'm not less than. I got everything I need because it was normalized, But everybody else looking from the outside, they know, you need stuff.
But
Like you talking to the young man, he's lacking. He needs support.
yeah, I wanted to buy him a phone. But I'm like, damn, that's probably doing a little too much. But I mean, I talked to his mama, and she was like, yeah, when I have to go to work early, sometimes he don't get up and go to school. So you got a cell phone, you got a job. You can't just get him a little trap phone with some minutes on or something. What's up with the alarm clocks? I'm confused. You got a car, but I can't judge it because I don't know your situation. And as much as I want to buy a phone, I don't think it's my place to get him a phone until me and his mom have a long talk to see. Because you can monitor stuff, but part of his growth, his stunting is because of the phone. You can't wake him up. He has no way. And you don't have anybody you can leave him with. You don't have anybody you can take him to. You got to be at work at 4 or 5 in the morning, so you can't drop him off at school. So we got to figure out a plan where you can do something to make sure he gets up on time. Because I can task him with it, but I still can't call him to make sure he up every morning. Because hell, I would just call him and I get up to make sure he up, but I can't do that either. Parents, if this is the job that you're going to take, you got to put your kids in a position to win, not just survive, to win. I think surviving is what costs us to learn shortcuts. Surviving is what costs us to take unnecessary chances. Surviving is what caused us to steal a candy bar and then put us further on the path of destruction. You get caught stealing 2 candy bars, you're a habitual thief. But you're not stealing out of greed, you're stealing out of hunger. You're stealing out of hunger. But your circumstances just made you. It just put you on the sheet. It just gave you 2 strikes. And you did nothing to deserve that. This is what we're doing to our future. This is what we're doing. These are the things that we miss. These are the things in my mind as parents, as mentors, as mentees, as the elders. We're not giving them realistic expectations sometimes. This boy taught me I can't keep talking to all these kids like they got a cell phone. Because in my mind, it was annoying. But part of that almost cost me to lose him. Because I could bet a part of him thought he was less than, because where all these other kids can reach out to me and touch me, he can't reach out to me. So I probably lost a little bit of him on my conversation because it don't apply to him. I can't reach out and call you. I can't text you my grades. I can't do none of the stuff you asking. And I'm like, damn, that was me not knowing my audience. Now I know who got a phone. Now I give them sheets of paper. I have them fill out the sheets of paper while I'm there. But what are we doing when we give out messages and we think we're doing good? Mo got a social media page. Mo, you became part of a conversation and didn't know about it. We know kids are addicted to social media. Yes?
That's right.
And you have a group about helping boys become better men, right?
That's right.
But how many boys do you do your live feeds with? How many boys do you do videos with to do this?
Well, so here's the thing, man. I cooked the meal, I set the table, I got everything clean and ready and prepared. Nobody's showing up for dinner. Nothing I could do about that, my man. I got everything there. I got elders, I got yourself, I got other people willing to contribute with information, a lifetime of information. If you take our ages and you add them up, you got years of information, right?
That's because y'all old.
That's that. No, man, you like 2/3 of that. But anyway, we got years of information, man, that can help our sons. And I set it up for the boys for a specific purpose. But anyway, to help our sons, and ain't nobody showing up. nothing I could do about that. But this table set, man. Come take a seat at the table. Send your boys over to that page. Take a seat at the table. We are spitting knowledge, spitting information. We got people with different professions. DVP is a retired police officer. You know what I'm saying? He got knowledge that these kids can use, or maybe I misspoke. Maybe you're not retired. Are you retired, DVP?
I am. I'm retired.
Okay, so
I'm
DVP
definitely
is a
retired.
retired police officer, and he got knowledge that can keep people out of trouble. We got I'm a retired engineer. I got information that can help these kids figure out the path that they want to go through school. I got the whole board trust there. So I'm saying, whoever they want to talk to, whatever information they need, and we got a lifetime of experience. So that's why I set that page up, saying, listen, come here, get the information. Don't get it from the street. Get it from the street, you know what happens.
But this is what we got to do, because I talked to a couple of coaches, and he was like, man, these kids, they can't wait to get on social media. I say, and you just as wrong as me. I say, every time we interact with these kids, unfortunately, this is where we messing up, Mo. You, me, the football coach, and the other male mentors I deal with. We doing it from our heart. We got to start posting stuff on social media with these kids so other kids can see it, because they share everything they do. So if we truly want to be effective, we got to go to where the crowd is. The crowd will come to where the kids are. We got this, and unfortunately, again, we doing this from the heart. We ain't doing it for the publicity, but we know kids are attracted to social media. So we got to kind of put a flip to it, and we have to start doing it for the publicity to draw them in. Because if you do a video, if I do a video, if my other guys do videos, and they got boys in the videos talking about what they learned and all this, guess who that's going to attract? It's going to attract other boys. It's going to attract other kids. And I'm like, damn, it was so easy, but it's so hard, because now we got to change our whole concept, because we're not doing it. We're not doing it for the likes. We're not doing it but we need the likes and the views. Because every time somebody like or view it, we're touching somebody. We're touching somebody. So some of our message, we have to rethink about how we're getting it out. Because I said now, whenever I go to the school, with each of them little kids, each of my boys, we're going to start doing a little video so they can talk about what they're learning. So I can tag them, so they can tell their friends, yo, check me out on my video. I'm doing this with this guy. This is my mentor, and I'm learning this. Because that's how I picked up 2 other kids. They heard about me, but not from my page, because it ain't nowhere on my page, because I don't talk about it other than this show. And I was like, damn, that shit is so simple. And I'm supposed to be a smart guy. It's so simple to get them. But it means I got to change the way I do business. Because now I do have to advertise. I have to publicize. I got to do these short videos so that these kids can show these other kids they're doing something positive. Because other than that, all they see is an old man. They see 2 old men, don't know what we're talking about. But soon as a 14, 15-year-old pop on there, we became popular. And I was like, damn, was it really that easy? And all those smart asses missed it. All these old smart ass men and women, we missed how easy it is to get their attention. Because we both know that social media is what they're attracted to. We know this.
But look,
so why aren't we doing stuff on social media to attract them?
Yeah, no, you're right. But no, I just want to say, man, you're right. But I remember being a kid, man. I was looking for that guidance before. I did my share of bad, but before I did that, I was looking for guidance. How does this work? How do you do this? How do you approach that? I was looking for that, and it just don't seem like people are looking for that nowadays. Because I would think they would gravitate towards that page, but what you just said, I think that's a good plan, and that will help us help them, because that's the whole point, right? We want to help them. That's it. We don't
Yeah.
what we get out of it is the fact that we have some joy, and we pass down the knowledge and lessons that we learned, and we get to see these kids sprout and grow. I mean, that's what I get out of it. I ain't looking for nothing else but that.
Right. But we got to look for something else to get the other ones. And that's why I was like, damn, this shit was so simple. But because we're not selfish, because we're not looking to boost our own selves up, we just kind of do it on the low. But we can't do it on the low and be effective. We have got to be more vocal and more public, and we got to start letting these kids be a part of what we're doing. Because we all sharing when we look for, hey man, what a group's kids at? Well shit, let's just go to them. Let's go to them. Let them talk. Let them say what. Let's have them for a session. Let's have them for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever it is, and then let's do a video with them so they can talk about what they learned. That's way more effective than anything that me or you can say individually, because we're just them old guys. But once they see, and it's crazy, two of the boys I got, the principal came up to me and he said, man, he said, I don't know what it is. He said, but they look for you. They didn't even know your name. They used to just call you the wave guy. But whenever they saw you pulling up, they run to the office and wait on you. And he said, these two, they're the leaders. If they tell other kids to do something, they do it. He said, they don't like nobody. But when they see you, they pull their hats off, they sit up straight. I'm like, well, damn. And it's funny, one of the boys will always just start talking to me. He never called me. He's like, you the guy from the jail, because I went on a jail tour with him. That's all. That's his first line to me for 3 meetings. You the guy from the jail. And he was like my shadow. And it's like, as soon as you leave, he put his hat back on. So it's like, damn, so I got the leaders. You know, when I made them get down and do push-ups, other boys started doing push-ups. Man, what you say to them to make them do push-ups? They don't do nothing nobody say. I told them to give me 10. What y'all tell them? And I was like, damn. For whatever reason, they grab. So now, knowing the ingredients, I got to start having videos with these boys. I got to have, they give me street cred. They bring me participants. They can bring me kids that you can't get me, Mo. These boys can get you kids I can't get you. So we have got to be more cognizant and reaching out and pulling them in and doing videos with them, doing lives with them. 3 to 5 minutes, because that's still all the attention they got on social media. But we gotta give them something where they can see their people look like they're having a good time and being educated and still being okay with being they can still be street and they can still be cool. And I was like, damn, this is because families, the same thing is true. We know what attracts these kids. Beating them don't work. Locking them in rooms don't work. Shutting them out don't work. Telling them what they can't do don't work. We know firsthand that telling us what we can't do ain't gonna never work. The more you expose us to, good, bad, or indifferent, the more educated we become. The one something you can't take from anybody is their level of education. When you teach them a skill, you can't take that from them. But beating them, taking stuff away, that don't do nothing but make them more resilient. Think of all the games we learned how to play when we were isolated. Because back in our day, the worst thing you could do, the worst thing in the whole wide world was rain. Rain meant we couldn't go outside. What was outside? Our people. Hell, rain was how I learned how to play. What's that game the girls play with their ball? Them Jackstones. I learned how to play Jackstones because of rain, because my 2 neighbors was girls. All we could do was sit on the porch. They wanted to play Jackstones or hula hoop. I'm like, damn. But who else I'm going to play with? It's raining. So now I'm playing fucking jacks. Got good at it too. But that's what we do. We need them. I mean, we want to get out the house. Like the boys live way over there. Mom ain't let me go over there. So, it's when I looked at him, that shit hit me like a ton of bricks. Because I thought I was a smart guy. And I realized I'm pretty fucking stupid. I didn't realize this. And it was right there in my face. Right there. When I get male and the other women to do it, same thing. These girls, they're attracted to social media. They're attracted to seeing their friends on social media. Let them do one of them crazy dances while they talk about what they learned. Let them do whatever it is. They share amongst each other. They share their own stuff. So if their stuff becomes us, they're sharing us. We become those people. We become the movers and the shakers. Even though we don't want the publicity, we ain't in it for the fame, we are in it to pass on knowledge. What's the best way to pass on knowledge? To be in front of them. And if I got to be in front of them by being on somebody else's speed that they watching, it's disingenuous of me to not want to do it, but say I want to reach out and I want to affect the kids. If I want to start teaching them some of the stuff that Mo was saying about stocks, when the little white boy came talking to him about stocks and he act like he don't know, but he don't know. These boys don't know that. But if I we talking stocks in one of the class, and I get them some scenarios, or actually I get more to get on Facebook Live, and we talk about this, and they can ask more questions. Then we through. I can do a live, and they can tell what they learned about stocks. So now, when they get their first little job, maybe we can get some penny stocks. Maybe we can invest in something. They ain't got enough money to worry about be losing nothing right now. But buy some of this, buy some of that. Now they can talk about stocks. And they can tell their friend, guess what I got that you ain't got? No, not no Jordans. Everybody, the boys over there got Jordans. I bet y'all ain't got no stock. I'm in the 9th grade and I own stock. What you got? You got some shoes that's gonna get too small. My stock ain't gonna never get too small. And then they start speaking a different they start speaking a different language. And what do we just do? Nothing other than expose them. And now they're gonna expose other kids. So now they're gonna be them kids like, man, how you learn about stock? See, look, man, look at my page. We talking about stocks here, but stocks there. I don't know what none of this shit mean, but see, I own these stocks. See, them pluses, that mean I got money. That mean I got money. So when it's time to graduate, I'm able to pay for my own graduation. When it's time to get that Hellcat, I'm able to get my own Hellcat. Because we can show them something based on what we can teach them and let them do their own little videos, and we share that. Look at what we did today. We got to be a little bit more self-promoting. It sucks, but that's what we got to do.
Yeah, man, you said something profound, man. I got a whole saying out of it, and that is knowledge is contagious. You know what you just talked about right there. You know that they get that knowledge and they pass it on and tell their other friends about it. You know, knowledge is contagious, man. And once you pass that on, now you can pass on instead of telling somebody how to hide their baggie in their clothes the right way, or which corner to stand on, or whatever bad trait they dealing with. You know what I mean?
And and it's crazy, man. I'm telling you, I'm with these kids, man. They want this. One of the boy who got in trouble for saying something to the teacher, he said he didn't say it. When he came to me, he was crying and everything. Like I said, I want to believe him, but I ain't been knowing him as long. So he in a room, and I get ready to go talk to him, and one of the teachers said, "Wait a minute." And I said, "What's up?" And she cracked the door. There's 2 more boys in there. Who in the group? Because it's a group of about 20 boys who we deal with. They in there talking to him about helping him with his work, about making bad decisions. These are his peers. These are other 14-year-old boys.
Wow.
Saying, well, he should be hearing from me. They are making a pact with each other to look out for each other. I'm like, damn. And so we had just talked about this, holding each other accountable. If my running back is good in math and the other 2 are failing in math, why aren't y'all going to him to find out? This is what we got to hold each other accountable. We done had a whole group session about this. And before I leave, they already in it. I ain't told them to go in there. They already in there telling him what he got to do. When I come in there, they be like, yo, Mr. B, this is what we going to do. This is what we going to do. Give us a month. Check our grades in a month. All our grades going to be up to pass. We ain't going to be at 65. We ain't going to be at 71. We're going to be at 80 because you told us we need to be at 80 to start making a change. Ask the teachers, are we respectful? Ask the teacher, are we saying yes, ma'am, and no, ma'am? Give us a month. We're going to change their minds too. And I'm like, damn. What came over y'all? It's like, you told us this. You made it make sense. We hurting our own self. Ain't no teacher going to lose nothing if we get kept back. She going to still have her car. She going to still do this. Her mama ain't going to be mad at her if I get kept back. I'm like, okay. He's like, but you don't want who keep it real with us. You don't keep trying to make everything about, you make everything about today. You don't make it about 20 years from now. Because kids ain't thinking about 20 years from now. They thinking about next week. They thinking about this weekend. And I'm like, man, when you do this and they tell you stuff, we have to take it to heart. We have to change our lesson plans and cater it for what they need, not for what we want them to have. What is it they need? Am I feeding my ego, or am I feeding their quest for knowledge? And this is what we got to start doing. Family, mothers, fathers, aunties, uncles, grandparents. We got to reach these kids at their level. And when that thirst, when that quest for knowledge comes, we got to give it to them. If you don't have it, point them in the right direction. But don't be scared to drop down to their level so that you can talk. One of the boys told me about another kid who had a gun. Because now they see the error in their ways. They see the error in keeping secrets. They see who can get hurt. The boy who hit somebody step on his shoes. That's it. So now the guy who stepped on your shoes and you felt disrespect and you hit him. Tell me what you would have did if he would have been the same kid with a gun and pulled that gun out on you. What would you do once you saw a gun? He just looked. I said, so you were still disrespected, right? He's like, yeah. I said, so the disrespect changed with the gun? When you see a gun, you don't feel disrespect? He said, yeah. I say, but you can live through being disrespected. You can't live through being shot. So just because somebody makes you do something, if I'm having a bad day and I know I can push you and I can shoot you because I ain't got shit to live for. So I step on your shoe, you get mad, you push me, I shoot you. Who won?
Man, see, I gotta add something to that, man, because you hitting on a profound point, and that is the definition of respect. Who you gonna respect? The dude that can beat up and bully everybody in the neighborhood, or the dude that's taking care of his family, got a full-time job, go to work every day, you know what I'm saying, handle his business and make sure his family is taken care of. See, I think in our society, in a lot of cases, we got that twisted. You know what I mean? It's not the dude who can beat up everybody. That cat, he don't really deserve no respect. You know, he gotta I understand though, because I grew up in an environment like that, and you gotta respect that dude so you don't get beat up. So I understand that. But I'm just saying, as time goes by, you need to become the guy that's gonna take care of his family, the guy that's gonna handle his business, watch out for his sisters. That's the dude you want to be. That's where the real respect comes in.
And that's the thing. We got to show them what what that leads to. When I tell them, I say, look in your neighborhood. For those of y'all who don't live in decent neighborhoods, y'all know who y'all are. I say, do y'all want to be them old men? I say, ask them how far they got in school. Ask them. Because they wanted to be the cool kids. They wanted to do this, they wanted to do that. So they didn't learn shit. I say, all the boys I talk to, don't none of them like the school that much. I say, y'all lying. Why you say we lying, Mr. Bell? I said, cause y'all all failing, which means you're gonna be here another year. The only reason you're here another year is because you like the school. Other than that, you pass, you can get the hell on. They just looked at me. Mr. Bell, I promise you I ain't gonna be here next year. Well, with a 6 or something, you're gonna be here. And the guy who run the group, he's like, y'all just need to get to 70. I said, don't get to 70. I said, because at 70, if you make a mistake, you're coming back. If you get to 80, you can make a mistake. You can't make a mistake at 70. And when I was telling the guy who run the group, I said, we got to stop getting them the bare minimum. We got to get them way above that because shit happens. Mo life shit done happen. DVP life shit done happen. Male life shit done happen. If we didn't prepare for something bad to happen, what would we be if we couldn't have handled a certain emergency? Where would we have been if one little something knocked us off everything because we barely skimming by? We barely skimming by. And that becomes our lifestyle. All it takes is you barely skimming by. You get caught in that one traffic stop. Your boy don't want to go to jail by himself. You don't have a good history. Next thing you know, you in the system. You can't even get out of it. You ain't even do shit wrong other than pick the wrong group of friends because nobody ever had a talk with you about how to pick friends. Risk versus reward.
In the neighborhood I grew up in, it was almost like a badge of honor to go to jail. You know why? Because when you get out, it's like, oh, so and so got out. Oh, okay. So what's that mean? I mean, is that to me when I was a little kid, just hearing that, it's like, oh, he got out. This was like a badge of honor, man. I'm like, how? Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't even understand how we took that and twisted that into being a badge of honor. It's not. No, people should not. A young man out there should not be wanting to get into that system, like you said. That's the worst thing you can do. You don't want to do that.
But
you know what I mean?
that came from the OG transfer of power. You and me came from an era, and I had to tell. Can I say this? Anyway, I had a meeting with some drug dealers. So when we grew up, The smart kids couldn't come to the parties after 10 o'clock. They had to be at home. The top athletes couldn't come to the parties after 10 o'clock. They had to be at home. The OGs made sure that nothing happened to the smart kids, to the ones who could make it out the hood. The ones who couldn't, hey, they were fair game. You ain't gonna be shit no way, player. You might as well learn the street trade. But you gotta leave little Johnny alone. Little Johnny got a football career. You gotta leave little Melissa alone. She's a straight A student. They can make it out. This new OG, they don't care. All they want, they going after the athlete because the athlete can recruit more people for them. And that's why we got to do a better job. They're going after the girls who got careers, who got something. You know, when they made it popular to like criminals. Because remember now, in our day, we knew who they were, but they weren't. We knew who they were and we respected them. But nobody wanted to be them. And they made sure that because they didn't hang around us like they were good people. We knew they were the hall monitors. If we did something wrong and one of the boys came out and said something to us, we took off running. But they didn't recruit us. They didn't tell us to come hang out with them. The truest ones didn't invite us to come smoke with them or drink with them or nothing. They tell us, man, take your ass on back around the corner and do this. They didn't let us do that. They were still good role models. They weren't good people, but they were great role models because they kept us straight. This new generation don't do that. They take whatever they can get, which is why the new generation has become, oh shit, what's the word when people kill their own kind? What's the word?
Genocide.
Genocide. That's what we're doing to our own kind. Whereas 30, 40 years ago, that wasn't happening. The talk was going to still get out. So this is what we have to do. We have to stop making it popular to be in jail, to be in prison. Because what's an inmate going to do? He's going to be in the hood at 40, chasing 15-year-old girls. Because he can't go nowhere. He probably still staying with his mama because he can't get a place to stay. And we have to explain this to them, and we have to stand strong and be solid. Because I actually got a couple of ex-convicts on the team who would tell how hard it was to get out. But they're older, so they can explain this. But this is how we gotta. This is what we gotta start doing. That's why I had really wanted to talk to you because once I saw the light about, I gotta start posting more on social media, especially Instagram, because that's where the kids are. If I really want to reach them, I gotta start doing more videos on Instagram with these young boys. I got to. If I'm being honest. Now I can keep saying, oh, I don't want to do it like that. I don't want to promote myself. You know, I'm being disingenuous because then I ain't trying to help the kids. Because I know that's where they are. I know that's where they are. The kids don't come to Facebook like that. They go to Instagram. I ain't doing TikTok. This is not happening. But they on the Instagram. So that's what we got to do. And we got to do better. Like I say, our families need to become our friends. Our friends, we make our friends family, but we won't make our family friends. And we got to be able to do both to find out who needs the help. You know, the old people, the hell with them. The young ones, that's our future. And we got to keep going.
Yeah, just between me and you, man, there's over 100 years of knowledge that we have to share.
So
with
if I'm
these young
21,
men.
that make you, I'm 21. So what that make you about 79, Mo. I ain't.
Listen, man,
I'm sticking with mine.
you failed math class, didn't you? You didn't do good in math class, did you?
I did. I did. That was my strong suit.
I get it. When I'm 76, man.
No, 79, 79, player, 79. I'm 21. I'm 21.
Good looking. Well, you a bad looking 21-year-old. I'm a good looking 79-year-old.
Hey, man. I got this from the Home Shopping Channel.
Oh, is that a paste on? You paste that on?
Yeah, I like the older women, so I wanted to look a little bit older so I could get them. I got a plan, bro. I got a plan.
Send me a couple of those, man. I want to try them out.
I don't want them to feel like they was robbing the cradle. So this is the setup. This is the setup. They don't ask me how old I am with this. When I ain't have it, they kept asking me for ID, but now I got this. Don't nobody ask me for ID.
Well, you got that young look on without that.
It's always a hater trying to mess up the whole plan. Always a hater trying to mess up the plan. But seriously, you know, like I said, this is what we got to do, man. Because I done told you the last one I hadn't told. We got to be more we got to be more intentional about posting on social media. We got to really be more intentional and gravitate to what we're looking at. We got to be
Look,
really
the hard
intentional when
part,
we do something with the kids sharing it.
yeah, the hard part is, they call it, have them come to the well to drink, man. We got to figure out how to do that, because I can tell you right now, I put my feelers out to um try to get knowledge to the younger generation, and it's tough, man. You can't make people want to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? They got some people just got to learn the hard way, and then once they learn the hard way, maybe they come seek you out, but by then it might be too late, or you only can help them so much. But I'm gonna tell anybody out there now who's, if you're a young adult, man, there's some things that you don't know. I can guarantee you that right now. Guarantee you that right
Right.
now. And I've probably been through it. DVP probably been through it. And you need this information just to make your life go smoother. Trust me on that one.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And man, like I say, I wanted to get you to tell you that I'm being stalked in my own office. Um, so give us a good stock tip, Mo.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I got a stock market page. I know it sounds corny, but I'm gonna tell you this: learning the stock market can get you on a financially sound basis. That's not something that us as a culture has been involved in for a long time. But the people that have taken it under their wing is essentially using your money and investing in other businesses and getting returns from those businesses. Just think about that setup. Where else can you find that? You know, that's what it's all about. Investing your money so it can make you more money. And there's rules, and there's ways to do that our culture usually doesn't know, because if you look at the statistics, we dead last when it comes to investing in the stock market. And I'm gonna just say it this way: our Caucasian brothers and sisters have been doing this for a long time, and their wealth status, and their wealth statistics. So I'm just telling you, come to my page. It's called Stock Market Basics on Facebook, and I'll share this knowledge with you. I'm not looking to get paid or nothing like that. I'm just one of them brothers that just want to give back. I'll leave it at that, DVP.
And understand, I use Cash App. One of the things that Cash App will let me do to round up is it let me buy stock. So I'm buying stock in Exxon. So if I buy something that costs $17.21, Cash App will put 79 cents toward Exxon stock. So I own some Exxon stock. So it's easy ways to do it, and it don't require you to start off with $100,000 or $1,000. There are ways of doing it. That's why we talked earlier about doing some of the penny stocks. There's ways to get into the stock market game slowly but surely, and learn the knowledge. But it makes no sense that all these things are out there that don't cost a lot of money, and all we keep doing is buying rims and purses that have zero return, zero. You might not make nothing, but there's a better chance you're gonna get something from stock than you're gonna get from any rims that you're gonna ever buy, ever. That's just real facts. And that's how it is. I want to say this, and again, most of us have family. Most of us have kids. It is insane. Well, when I think about it, you not to have life insurance on your kids. Nothing says that you're going to die before them. Nothing. Zero. The cost to get a rider on the insurance policy for a kid, and a lot of them is less than $5 a month. Give up 2 sodas and get the life insurance on your kids. It pains me when a parent has to bury a child and do a GoFundMe because they got life insurance on them but not the child. That's just something that is easily avoidable. That $5 ain't gonna kill you. It's just not. It's just not. And that's it for right now. But if we ain't doing it for the kids, if we ain't doing it for a better tomorrow, what are we doing it for? Let's stop some of these dumbass wars. Let's stop doing the man versus woman battle. Let's stop doing the black versus white battle. Let's be a better us. Let's make your household better. Make your kids better. Don't worry about who catch up and keep up. Do your part to make yours better. Start promoting each other. You get to control the narrative. I don't care what Trump is doing. I don't care what Putin is doing. I don't care what Biden is doing. If it's not making your life better or not giving you a positive outlook, you have a Facebook page. Control that narrative. Control that narrative. Make it positive. Make it positive. Or if you can't make it positive, just don't promote negativity. Easy choice. Easy choice. You control that. Nobody has the right to upset you unless you just want to be upset that day. You know, I enjoyed this. We're gonna leave a little bit early, ain't that long, but we'll be back next week. But I want to say thanks, Mel, super dope producer. Y'all should be in on the green room conversation when she be fussing at me and Mo. We are unapologetically black. We like to have uncomfortable conversations, and we're gonna bring y'all some more stuff next week. Let's see what we got going. I think I'm gonna set Mo up. I can't tell him what I'm gonna do to him yet, but I think I'm gonna set him up. But if y'all got questions, comments, or concerns, send them to us. Mo, I'm gonna call you after the show because your page won't let me. It won't let me share it on Random Thoughts because you got it blocked for pages. So I can't share nothing from the stock market page on Random Thoughts. But I'll call you and talk to you about that.
All right.
All right. So until next week, y'all know what it is. My drink is already gone. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.